So here's Brett Keane's video, because we find it pretty entertaining, all the demands he makes, and makes it pretty much sound like, well, I'll only come on if you do this and this.
Now we're going to watch that and laugh. We're not going to watch the whole thing.
Yeah.
It's like really fucking like 11 minutes long.
We are going to watch his intro, though, because it's pretty fucking hilarious.
It's the final Jesus.
Da-da-da-da. Da-da-da-da-da.
Oh shit, it's Jesus, everyone! There he is!
Jesus looks like he's jerking off in that. It's like, oh yeah, I'm about to come. Oh, I just came.
Brett Keane, Hollywood.
Ugh, fuck yeah.
Okay, first off, does Brett Keane live in Hollywood?
He lives in Missouri.
He lives
Missouri.
in fucking Missouri. So how the fuck is it Brett Keane, Hollywood?
Brett Keane, Hollywood,
production value
baseball. Jack Girardi at 10 feet tall.
And it's not even debatable. It's not even debatable that Brett Keane's quality sucks. Like, his quality is shit.
His quality is the same as it was back in, like, 2006.
That's what I'm saying. It's not even, like a point you could debate. It's like, your quality sucks. It's horrible. He uses, like, a shitty webcam from, like, 1998. Turn off the phone, TJ.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Brett Keane from the YouTube channel Brett Keane Hollywood. When I woke up this morning, I discovered I had many comments from atheist YouTubers claiming that the Amazing Atheist and his friend Ben would like me to come upon a live broadcast of the Amazing Atheist. I am more than happy to come on to a live broadcast of the Amazing Atheist, but there are some things that I would like to see happen before I even consider
Brett Keane is a fucking diva.
Yeah.
First of all,
The room has to be all white.
The room has to be all white.
And I want chilled water.
Only red M&Ms.
The water better be chilled to 35.3 degrees Fahrenheit. If it's not, I'm not going to show up.
I guess that's where the Hollywood thing comes from.
I think you nailed it, Ben. That's where it came from.
Questions that I would like to ask, and I would like the questions to be answered on the Amazing Atheist.
Who is your daddy, and what does he do?
I would also like to ambush you with some audio bites.
Who is your daddy, and what does he do?
In order for Brett Keane to appear on my show, which he did, so we obviously know that all this list is just bullshit.
Yeah, it's total bullshit.
But in order for him to appear on my show, I have to answer his questions on the Amazing Atheist channel. When the Amazing Atheist channel has 540,000 subscribers, and his channel has like what? I don't know, seven people, 7 dudes sitting around like Jesus, yeah, Brett Keane.
And for those of you who don't know, Brett Keane was one of the early atheist YouTubers.
Brett Keane actually has the distinction of being the person that inspired me to do the Amazing Atheist channel.
Yeah, and TJ freely admits that. So
no, yes, I don't deny it or back away from it, because back in the day he was on there making atheist videos, and he was actually when we were both doing atheist channels, he was pretty much in a dead heat with me in terms of subscribers for a long time.
Yeah, and didn't he blame you for the downfall of his channel? Ultimately?
Yeah, he actually, back in the, it's so hard to find
TJ orchestrated my downfall.
But I mean, he had like this several-part series about how I basically engineered his entire downfall on YouTube. I mean, now he's changed his tune.
It wasn't his
admits some culpability.
Yeah, it wasn't his gross plagiarism.
Well, I watched his coming out Christian video where he described and
no, Ben, he's not a Christian.
Oh yeah,
he's a theist.
A follower of Jesus who believes in the divinity of Jesus, who is not a Christian.
But remember, G-Man already explained to us that that's not what a Christian is. That's not what a Christian is. That's not what Christian is. Let me out of your mind.
Oh, that makes sense. I'm glad you reminded me of that.
You know? Just because you believe in the divinity of Christ and view him as your Lord and Savior and obey his edicts does not make you no Christian.
So basically, Brett Keane was in some financial trouble at one point, and he was at the end of his rope, and according to him, he was sitting on a park bench in the woods.
In the woods?
In the woods. That's kind of
Why
strange.
Is there a park bench in the middle
ghetto?
Of the woods?
I don't know. But he decided to pray after he was the guy on YouTube for so long that said, prayer doesn't work, all this shit.
Jesus, send me like a check.
Jesus, send me some money.
Jesus, send me a check for $5,000 and solve all my problems.
On the park bench, and I decided it was time for me to pray.
You know what it was? He was watching those evangelists on TV like, we just need to build the new church. He's like, wait a minute. I could just make a living by saying I'm a Christian and just like telling people I need money for like like Christian activities like missionary work.
Well,
and shit.
I wonder how long it'll be before Brett Keane is laying his hands on the sick and infirm and healing them.
Here's the funny thing about the story, though. Okay, so he's praying, he's saying, "God, give me a sign. Help me, and I'll believe in you, and I'll convert, and whatever." So, and then later on, he mentions that either before he prayed or shortly after, he had uploaded a video asking people for help because he really needed help financially. And that's okay. You can't. I mean, I won't even fault him for that because people get there. Whatever, I'm not even gonna.
Yeah, we don't fault him for his financial problems. That's just silly.
So his reason for converting to Christianity was all of a sudden he started getting all these donations, and 90% plus of the people who donated the money to him were Christian. And he believes that that was the sign that God gave him. But it's like he fucking uploaded a video asking people to do this. So how the fuck is that a sign from God? You asked for it. You think if you wouldn't have asked for it, that all of a sudden these donations just would have came in somehow?
God helps those who help themselves, Ben.
I see.
Benjamin.
So that is Brett Keane's reason for converting to Christianity. He got donations from Christians to his PayPal account.
I wouldn't, that's pretty funny that he would admit that. Like, I saw the Christians would pay me more, and I just decided I'm a Christian.
Yeah, and the video is still up. If you look up, if you do a search for like Brett Keane Christianity or something like that, you'll find it. It's still out there. So, yeah. We'll listen to a little more here of his. It's almost like a hostage negotiation checklist that he gives us here.
Let's hear it.
He would have to actually make a video or find the time to make a video before the broadcast answering some of my questions. There are also some God believer individuals out there that I would like to be able to participate in the discussion as well. The individuals are selected by me. These individuals would be G-Man, who is a Christian,
and a
Richard
genius,
Raspberry, who is
a musical genius. He's,
a lyrical master.
G-Man, if I can't even say it with a straight face.
We have to transcribe his song so we can do a metal cover of it.
If Jay-Z happens to be listening to the show, I think he'll be giving you a call tonight, G-Man.
Yeah, I hope that we just gave you your big break, buddy.
Yeah.
Is a Christian and true empiricism. Every single one of these individuals I have mentioned are respectful, decent, and have a reputation for doing live hangouts and discussions, and are more than happy to talk about science, religion, and philosophy.
And this is total bullshit.
So if the Amazing Atheist wants me to come onto his show, I know that he's going to have his friends and his fan base there, and all that I ask is that I have these individuals to be able to participate in the discussion, and I would also...
Isn't that revealing, though, the fan base statement, Brett? Because you don't have much of a fan base, and I think that's part of the reason why all these demands are coming out,
I think it was just basically he didn't want to do it. And he was trying to come up with like a ridiculous list of demands that he knew I would never meet. But then probably G-Man and his friends were like, yeah, we gotta go own that piece of shit.
I don't know. I don't agree with you there.
Why would Brett Keane not want to be on the show?
Yeah.
He literally has no exposure beyond that. Like, he doesn't even understand like how YouTube works now. Like, he only understood it when it was like, upload a video and people will find it because I'm like the only atheist on there pretty much.
Yeah, now he has like a 9-minute intro with copyrighted music and Jesus and whatever else.
Actually, I believe that's actually like a cover.
Yeah.
He put in the show notes that his son's band plays that, which is kind of, the music is actually pretty well produced, so I'm cool with that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
But still.
Yeah.
It sounds almost.
Like the final countdown.
Yeah, I can't distinguish it from the. Like, at least the music. It doesn't sound like they've done anything to alter it, really.
Yeah.
Also like a video announcing that they, too, will be on the show with links in the description that represent their channel so people can actually go over and see who it is that would be on the show and get to know the participants.
Why do you want us to do that? Honestly, because all that's gonna do if we link the participants to our audience, it's gonna cause their videos to get a lot of downvotes and possible trolling in their comments. Honestly, I mean, it's not gonna help.
I don't
Our
even know if you
audience
can.
does not like them.
Can you even troll G-Man though? Is it even possible? To
I think
troll?
G-Man is a troll, and I challenge him to prove me wrong.
I
Prove
think-
to me that you're not a troll.
I don't think you could even troll G-Man in a way. He's just like so stupid. It's almost impossible. It just bounces right off him or just goes over his head.
Yeah, because I mean, even if you make valid points to him, he doesn't grasp them on even the most rudimentary level.
You're a racist, TJ.
Okay.
I think that that's fair. I would like to also ask some questions before I go on the podcast that will be in this video. I'm going to ask some questions, and I would like to see.
I wish he'd
if the
fucking get to it
Amazing
instead of
Eight
making
Who's
like
the
an
daddy?
11-minute
And
video.
what does he do?
That's just like the fucking video where he announced that he was now a Christian. It was like a 15-minute video where he told this really long, drawn-out story, and then at the end, he finally admitted he is now a Christian. So,
Theist, Ben.
oh, a theist.
He's a theist.
Sure, a theist.
He was always a theist. He just always forgot to put that space between the A and the theist.
I would pretty much say he's more of a deist than a theist anyway.
Deist. I don't know, because he believes in Jesus. And he believes
So he
in-
says.
Well, yeah.
I mean, if he wants to call himself a theist, who really cares? In my opinion, he's still a moron. Doesn't
mature
change
enough
that.
and adult enough to actually attempt to answer the scientific religious questions that I give.
Because they're not.
If I feel that you actually cared enough and that you've actually made a video trying to answer these questions, then I know
Ask
that
'em.
whenever I go on the podcast,
Ask the
we can
fucking
have an adult
questions, you
He does ask
fucking
'em.
Yeah,
idiot.
Brett, are you a
Do you wanna-
scientist?
do you wanna-
I highly doubt it.
Do you want to go through the questions and answer them now?
Yeah, I mean,
Okay.
I want to see what they are.
And it's funny, like
These are his scientific questions.
it's funny because he's so much against ad homs, but if you watch his old videos, he attacked people all the fucking
Dude,
time.
just in his video recently to Dusty, he's like, well, Dusty obviously only has a third grade education and he's fucking stupid, but, you know, I mean, it's not like he's turned over a new leaf and he totally abstains from personal attacks now or something.
like
Dusty's a
conversation.
moron.
Basically, what I'm saying is that the video that you make will be a test, as well as monument, of showing that you're serious about actually having a good adult-like discussion. If the video does not answer the questions,
can
or
discuss
you
that
don't
however the
even
fuck we want,
try or
Brent. Are you my
just
daddy?
blow it off, then I know that you're really just using people in order to make more money and act goofy on a podcast that someone else's
We're
expects.
wacky.
And that's not what I want. If I'm going to go on someone's live show, I want it to be about an actual discussion and not a place where we get personal with each other and fling doo-doo in each other's face. Like Moneyball.
It's because you're a dull-witted moron, Brett. That's why you want all these preconditions, so we don't fucking reveal you for the retard you are.
So, without further ado, here's my question.
Okay, questions, finally.
My first question is, do you believe in absolutes?
What?
Do you believe in absolutes?
Wow.
Okay, yeah, in some I mean, it depends. I mean, yeah, in some instances, I guess. It's kind of a vague question, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean absolutes, like
I believe in absolute vodka.
yeah, comes in many delicious flavors.
I know.
He's just trying to funnel us down with some Christian logic.
Oh, it's-
he wants to be like,
Yeah, this
yes
is
or no.
this is obviously the first question in some like bit of sophistry that he's concocted.
Yeah, it reminds me of Eric Hoven's routine that he goes through.
Have
when
you ever
he's done.
stolen anything? Then you're
Yeah.
a thief.
Yeah, or Ray Comfort type stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. You're
My
a
second question
fucktard.
is, without a god of the universe, what would be the alternative and why it is that the universe exists in the first place?
What would be the alternative? Why do you even need an alternative? I don't see the need for an alternative. I mean, we don't need to always have a working
Do
hypothesis.
you have an explanation besides God? Yes, it's called the Big Bang.
Well, where did that
No.
come from? It's like,
Who
well,
created the
we don't
Big
know
Bang?
yet. We haven't yet discovered that knowledge.
weren't
We may never
there.
discover it.
You weren't there.
They weren't there to see God do it either. So I don't understand the you weren't there argument.
but he
Yeah.
left behind.
We have this book.
He left behind his book of ancient fairy tales to tell them, though.
Oh, the book.
My next question would be, what explains the fine-tuning of the universe? My next question would be,
Well, multiverse
why-
theory has an answer to that. But
Yeah,
I mean,
what does he mean by fine tuning anyway? The universe is chaotic at best. In
well, I
many
mean,
ways.
basically, I mean, they say it's basically like, oh, if the cosmological constants were different, then reality would be different. We might not have. There'd be plenty of universes where if the laws of physics were a little bit different, we wouldn't have stars and planets and all that stuff.
But we do.
Right. So I mean, it's basically like someone. It's basically like I think who was it? It was the guy that wrote the Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, Douglas Adams.
Yeah.
He was talking about a sentient puddle that was like, wow, obviously, because I'm in this exact shape. This is it's like this puddle fits perfectly in this hole. Don't you see? It's like magic.
This square peg fits in the square hole.
The
do
only
you
explanation
think that
is
the universe
creative.
is rational, if rational at all? I would suggest looking
Rational
in the dictionary under the
people.
word rational.
People can be rational. There's nothing that that's a character trait that can only belong to sentient beings. The universe doesn't have to be rational. The universe can't be rational. That's like that's a character trait, or a way of approaching situations and problems. The universe doesn't have a sense of rationality. It's just governed by the laws of physics.
For some reason, many atheists out there ask me the question of, what do you mean the universe
Which, by the way, are
rational?
descriptive laws,
So
not
obviously they
prescriptive
do
laws.
not comprehend that word or understand its meaning of what rational and logical actually means, ironically. How did DNA and amino acids arise, and where did the genetic code come from?
Why does the genetic code have to come from somewhere?
Well, I mean, it came from a very gradual process that took place over billions of years.
Well, yeah, but he's insinuating that, someone sat down and wrote the genetic
Yeah,
code.
he's saying that obviously the point of creation was God.
I remember, it just reminds me of the episode of Family Guy where they present the creationist view, and it's basically the genie from I Dream of Jeannie, and she just kind of nods her head, and like organisms just appear on the surface of the earth.
Yeah, but he's talking about the genetic code like it's like the Da Vinci Code, and somehow we just kind of like cracked the code.
God is sitting there over like his computer, like, God damn it, not now, honey. I'm working on the genetic code. Ain't you seen Gattaca?
Basically, I'm asking you the origin of DNA, the origin of life itself.
The funny thing is, I don't understand how he can honestly ask this question when he's made videos in the past where he talks about abiogenesis. I mean, he knows this stuff, so he's clearly feigning ignorance.
Yeah, I wanted to find videos of atheist Brett Keane to have him debate himself, and just find like atheist, theist Brett Keane.
It must be so
making a point.
surreal for him to now be asking questions that he himself has answered pretty
Yeah.
well in the past.
Yeah, many times before.
So it's like, okay, well, how can you possibly posit this question when you already know what the real answer is?
The one video that I found that was amusing was his blasphemy challenge video from back in the day, because he did the blasphemy challenge thing.
Yeah, so he's going to hell no matter what. So I don't know why he's bothering with this Christian shit.
I don't expect you to know
He's
everything.
already,
but
He
I'd
repented,
like you to make
TJ.
an attempt at your alternative or understanding of it. We all know that atheists love to claim that the universe doesn't have the capacity to contain a god or an entity like it in the universe. So, being that,
What was
I
that?
would like to hear.
What?
What'd he say?
He said that the universe doesn't have the capacity to contain
God?
God. Yes.
Okay. I don't see the point there. I don't get it. What is that even supposed to mean to
Which
me?
is weird because Jesus was in the universe and you believe Jesus was God, right?
I've heard a lot of Christians say that God is everywhere and everything, but now he's saying no, that's not true. I don't know. Whatever.
Your alternative or solution being that you are allegedly the amazing atheist.
Allegedly.
So I expect nothing less than amazing.
How are you
extraordinary
allegedly
answers
the
for
amazing
these things.
atheist? Oh, he's saying you're allegedly amazing. That's what he's trying to say.
Yeah, that's not new. No one's ever used that one before.
Allegedly
That's
amazing.
so original, Brett.
Brett Keane.
But he wants to be mature and have this adult discussion, as he has said.
Being that you believe there is no God behind it.
You believe there is no God.
See, but he needs to look up the word atheist in a dictionary.
He does not believe that there is a God.
He-
It's not that he believes there is no God.
That's what I'm saying. Like, Brett always challenges people on words. Do you know what the meaning of the word logical or rational is? It's like, do you know what the meaning of the word atheist is?
So then what is the answer and solution to the equation?
What are you talking about?
My next question
Equation.
What equation?
What is that?
I didn't see you
what
present
equation
a
is-
fucking
what
equation at
equation
any
does-
point.
Does Brett Keane do, like, when he's adding up his McDonald's total? Well, let's see. The chicken nuggets are $1. Oh, they're not on sale anymore. $1.99. I mean, give me a fucking break.
how does irreducibly complex enzyme chains evolve? And how do you
Did he
account-
just you actually do the irreducible complexity thing?
Yes.
It appears so.
Like, I know for a fact that he's argued with that before. I mean, I remember seeing videos where he basically mocked Christians for even using the words irreducible complexity. And he was right to do so. Oh well.
for the origin of 116 distinct languages
Forget all that, TJ. God gave him money.
Yeah, that's right. I forgot. God bribed him. Now he's got to fight God's battles.
and families? My next question is, why did cities suddenly appear all over the world between 3000 and 1000 BC?
Why?
Why did cities suddenly appear every time God was near?
They didn't suddenly appear. People built them.
Yeah, it was actually this process where people lived in tribes and then villages and then cities.
Why did the internet suddenly appear?
Al Gore.
Yeah.
Al Gore is God.
Al Gore was like, snap his fingers. Time for the internet.
Can you explain the expansion of the population during these time periods?
It's called agriculture,
My
moron.
next questions would be, how is independent thought possible in a world?
Well, Brett, you're
ruled
proving
by
that one
chance
already
and
to be
necessity?
incorrect.
How do we account for self-awareness? How is free
How do we
will
account for
possible in a
self-awareness?
material universe?
Is this a list of like Brett's dumbest possible questions? How do we account for self-awareness?
I just- Have you ever read a book on neuroscience? I mean, like, if you really want, I mean, if you're genuinely curious about, I mean, I know you have no actual genuine curiosity about the subject of how consciousness arose, so you won't actually read anything about it. For you, it's just a question to be like, you can't explain it. God did it. Actually, it can be explained. Just read a book on neuroscience. I mean, we don't know exactly how consciousness emerged in, all those details because we're still investigating, but we know a lot more about the brain than we used to. And we do know that it is the seat of consciousness. And we do know that it is an evolved organ. It's part of evolution. Like, that's why if you look down our ancestral chain, you can see creatures with brains that are similar. You can see how, like if you look at like any of the other great apes on the planet, they have physiologically similar brains that are not quite to the level that ours are at yet. Which is, not to say that all evolution is necessarily progress. I mean, features can regress too.
Yeah.
Like creatures that are trapped in darkness might lose their eyes over, a few million years. But, you can clearly see that there is this physiological similarity down the ancestral chain. And if we look at our closest relatives on this planet, we can see remarkable similarities between ourselves and them. I didn't know that Brett Keane, I knew Brett Keane was a Christian now. I didn't know he was anti-evolution too.
Yeah, I think he may even be a young earther from what I've gathered.
I think he's a flat earther as well.
Well, actually, I believe Nephilim Free is a geocentrist.
Whoa.
Yes. At least he's stated that before in videos that he's made.
So he believes the Earth is the center of the universe, or
Yeah.
am I misremembering? No, that would be geocentric.
Yes.
Heliocentric is when they think the sun is the center of the
Yeah.
universe.
Someone wrote in the chat, I think Brett Keane is suffering from Alzheimer's.
How do we account for consciousness? Where did consciousness come from?
Didn't you just ask that same question earlier, but you used the word awareness, but it's the same question.
There's been some new findings in the universe within this past week that has blown the atheist Lawrence Krauss's theory of we came from nothingness completely out of the water.
What?
Wait a minute. The theories that they proved were they proved that the Big Bang happened because they found the waves.
Yeah, from the oldest light in the
So
universe.
how does that? What part of that discredits Lawrence Krauss's ideas? Is that going to be explained,
Would you
or
explain it?
could you explain it?
Self-awareness and consciousness.
It's just I don't get it.
On what basis can we make moral judgments? By what authority?
They used that one on
How
us on
can
the
you
debate.
explain to me that it can be any more than just a moral opinion on things? What is wrong? What is right? What is good? Is evil? I would like you to explain why
I really loved the way
suffering-
that Paul's ego handled that particular question in the debate too.
Yeah.
Oh, what did he say? I didn't see the whole debate, just some parts of it.
Well, Paul was basically like, they were like, by what authority? He's like, the authority of the United States government. That's why they have laws they pass and stuff. And you know, if I murder someone, I'll go to jail. And also just empathy and the fact that I wouldn't want anyone killing me, so why would I kill them? Or
I still
hurt
think it's
them?
disappointing that we can't see Dusty and Brett Keane debate. We have to set that up sometime.
Well, Dusty might show up. Maybe we'll get lucky and the women will cancel on him.
Oh man, that's a dick thing to say.
Yeah, cock blocker.
even matters in the first place.
We got to figure out figure out who Dusty's going to date and write them and be like,
matter if there is no
Dusty fucking sucks. He beats women. You don't want him. He's trash. He's garbage.
Dusty beats women, yeah, TJ. I think Dusty's going to make an anti-amazing atheist video soon. The amazing cock blocker.
Don't date Dusty. We need him.
Is that a website?
We need him for the
Don'tDateDusty.net.
That's awesome.
God, if there is no force or being, I need to hear your opinion on why
You say
it is
force
that you
or
think
being?
that
Being.
anything
It's
matters
a
in
being.
the first place. If there is no
All right, that's enough of this shit. Let's move on.
Okay.
Yeah, who the fuck would watch this boring, grumpy old piece of shit?
Well, this was his list of demands, like like a hostage negotiation.
You have to
basically.
answer this list of ridiculous
And you
questions.
need to bring $10,000 in a brown paper bag to the bus station.
Yeah. He wanted TJ to answer these questions on the Amazing Atheist channel. So
He just answered many of these questions already on the channel before us, but he needs to specifically address it to Brett Keane.
Right.
And give Brett a shout out. Hey
Basically.
guys, do you want to go fucking be so bored you want to blow your brains out? Go watch this Brett Keane bullshit. And in a month from now, he's gonna be not a Christian. Now he's gonna be an atheist again in a month, and he'll bounce back and forth.
I think he's going to do Muslim next.
So the next story we're going to cover here is that there's been a wave of suicides based on the work culture of a particular phone company in Europe.
You know, another thing I wonder, before we get off the
Okay.
Brett Keane thing.
Okay.
Something I was wondering the other day, what does his wife think as he flip-flops between atheism and Christianity?
I
Like,
don't know.
I'm an atheist.
does she just
God
go
is
along with it? Like,
bullshit.
she's like, honey, God is bullshit and atheism is right. She's like, yeah, that's right, Brett. You right. Smart, Brett. You know. And then like, honey, I'm a Christian now. It's like, oh, good. Praise Jesus, Brett. I'm like, does she just go along with it, or what is going on there?
I don't know. I have no idea.
Anyway,
That is a good question.
we'll have to ask him that on Saturday. Like, what does your wife do when you oscillate between life philosophies left and right?
I wonder if he does this with everything too. It's like 1 month he's like, I love peanut butter, and then the next month he's all like, fuck this peanut butter, and like throws it against a wall and like beats his wife for like buying the peanut butter. Like, like what happens in Brett Keane's life if he goes this much back and forth between like a major life choice like religion? Like, how crazy does he get about other shit?